Well, my solution is bring
They
back
need
the
to bring
rapid
back
response
the hand.
and
No,
the
see, if
rangers.
that was
So
a
I just came home last Monday and heard so much things happening. I work on a cruise ship. I just on vacation.
Not everyone that's in the prison that is guilty, but we have a university center criminal.
Welcome to another episode of Solutions, Answers from the People. Simple solutions offered by you, St. Lucians. I am Lavon Verdant. In tonight's show, we look at two issues: traffic problems in the city and the increase in youth violence. Our first question for the people: what is your solution to the traffic problem in Castries? Let's go to the streets for our first set of solutions.
Traffic police. We need many more traffic police in town because they have too many double parking in Castries. They have a car park. The car park just available and no vehicle is not going there. They need to do something. And the police force need about 5, what is the vehicle's name? Them crash trucks. You need about 5 of that. So any vehicle park in the place where they're not supposed to be parked, take them, ground them, and let them pay the crash truck fee and plus fine them.
Well, the traffic problem they have is do some bus terminals for the buses and clear. Let the police do their work. I support what the young lady said this morning about the license. As a driver, I support the points. She said, like if you, according to how you drive on the road, they got points on your license. Either you lose your license or you take jail. I support that as a driver.
All the people that working in the banks and in the offices, they should be parking in the car park, and people that come in the capital to do business, they should be parking in the spots in town. Because people that working in the offices, they're there for the whole day. Now, I'm somebody like me or you guys might just come to do something for about maybe a minute or two and go already. But those people park there for the whole day. People that are working in the bank, the offices, park in the car park.
Okay, well, my name is Kuvil and I've been a driver for a couple of years now. And I feel the traffic in town is very, especially the police, you get nowhere to park in town. Whenever you try and go and get a message or something, when you come back, you get a ticket issued for $250, which will target your day's work. You understand? So I believe, well, they should do something like a bus terminal where would get access for the bus terminal where when other people come to town, they would get a better place to park.
Solution to the traffic problem, I ask myself again, we cannot stop the inflow, the modernization of the industry of Castries. Therefore, I think one of the ways we can alleviate the problem is to start zoning. If you're going to Grosley, this is the route you take. And if you're coming from Grosley, this is the route you take. If you go into Marchand, you got to start zoning vehicles in the direction they travel. And that is the only way. The other way is to march on the whole town and develop it again, and I know that won't happen, not in the distant future. There is no way. Okay? Or then people park outside of the Castries Basin and they must shuttle into town. All of those things has to be done on the books, laws. Should we over-govern ourselves with laws and here and don't do that? Good. The next thing is for the people to understand and to cooperate, and that's a very difficult thing in St. Lucia, to park their cars somewhere and walk to town. Get fit in the meantime. That ain't gonna happen. So what do we do? Okay? Stamp it, seal it by degree or decree. Do not drive to town between 6 and whatever time everybody pick their vehicle outside of the periphery of the city. That's it. That's the way you're gonna. It's a bit of stringent force, not in the democratic way as we all would like, because it won't happen. And that's how I see it. Or we go bicycling and you ride out to get your vehicle.
Well, there are a lot of old buildings that are not being used here, so they could probably break it down, make more parking lots. There are a lot of offloading zones that are hardly being used. They take up like 2 spots. They could just cut down on it. There are a lot they can do. A lot they can do to solve the traffic problem. I hope that they do it because it's becoming a real problem in Castries.
So what I say about the traffic in town is like they have to do something where like a main bus terminal, so all bus could think one place, so we'll not have so much congestion in the city. That is what I have to say about that.
Well, before I think of the solution, I'll just look at the problem. I think it is really causing a problem in terms of congestion, traffic congestion, and I think there's need also for new streets, new avenues where we can park vehicles, and new roads for that matter. And I was also thinking of having something overhead in terms of the Grozile Highway, and other areas. We must think and look for new areas where we can accommodate our traffic, I'll not say to curtail the number of vehicles, because people want vehicles and the business community thrive on vehicles, and they definitely make a profit on that. And consumers are also welcoming the idea of having a vehicle to move around. So I think all in all we should sit down and discuss it and look at a possible solution towards solving the traffic problem.
Well, my solution to it is that the government should get like a proper spot so that they could put in a proper parking lot so vehicles could park, because really and truly the city is congested. In case of an emergency, vehicles have to go to the side, squeeze and whatnot. So in order for that to be prevented, just build something big, and like the states, let's go international.
Well, the police should enforce put in place something for the guys to use the car park. I don't think the car park is being used or utilized as it should. And if it's working after they do that, then another car park should be put up. Other than that, St. Lucians should learn how to carpool. Everybody wants to buy a car, okay? And it's just congesting the city. Carpool, somebody, you jump in the car and go down to town with this guy today. Tomorrow he parks his car and you go down. That kind of thing. It helps.
My solution about parking in St. Lucia is we have too many vehicles. We have too many drivers just driving around town. They have nothing doing. They just drive around town and play music. What I think government should do, organize a parking area like in, not Fuller Show, Bernard, that area there where they have all these pallet trucks. Have a parking there so that people, you park your car there for the whole day for $5 or $2, whatever, and take a shuttle bus and come in town. So then we'll have less congestion in town. And another thing again, they should organize parking meters so that government could make more money in the city, because too many people can just come in town and get free parking, especially in the boulevard. You have zombies holding spot for other people, which is nonsense. That's not supposed to happen. In that case, that can generate dollars for the city. Organize some meters in town, so that will be good for the city. That's my suggestion.
Yeah, they have to establish a place for the vehicles. The government have to take out their money and establish a place for the vehicles.
So far I'm seeing, the traffic is flowing because the road just finished fix up and thing. So also I seen like the traffic congestion, it's a way freeing up for that time. Yeah, it's freeing up. Yeah.
One of the things I think the government should do is do subterranean parking to stop the people from parking on both sides of the street, because most of the time it's one-way street and people are parked on both sides. So if the government could, and that would create jobs as well for the people, for the country, the revenue for the country. So I think one of the main things is parking meters or subterranean parking where the cars would not be on the streets, but it would be below the streets.
These were some of the solutions offered by St. Lucians. We'll take a break now. When we come back, more solutions. Welcome back to Solutions. We asked the people, what is your solution to the traffic problems in Castries? Let's hear more solutions.
Maybe one of the answers could be bus terminals. We have transport, which is so important to our lifestyle here, but buses are packed all over the city. And I think government should make an effort to build in a bus terminal, even two. One for the south, one for the north. And in my mind, I see two ideal locations: Georgia Fifth Park, which I don't think it can ever recapture its older glory, and the Fuller Show area right next to the port.
Well, they could probably relocate the schools so there'll be more space for parking, stuff like that. Because to me, like where the schools are, mainly in Castries, is not really safe, like for asthmatic children and, stuff with sinus and this stuff. Yeah, we should probably do that.
Right now we have the car park. I think we should utilize it. All right, and maybe have more car parks, in the area, in town. So that will alleviate the problems.
That was our first solution. The traffic congestion, especially around this time of year, is becoming unbearable. Rush hour has no rush at all for people traveling between Castries and Grosley. We've seen an increase in the volume of traffic, but we still have the same roads. But that's for another show. Let's go to our next question. What is your solution to the increase in youth violence?
Moi, c'est maman, cette maman, avec sa carrière touchée. Pour moi, c'est ça qui est maman actuellement, avec ces jeunes bougs là, mais moi pas savoir qui ça qui a passé. Parce que ces jeunes bougs là actuellement là, ils pas détendre les mamans là dit yo. Mais ça si c'est trop jeune quand tu es dans l'amour, mais ça si c'est trop si c'est confuse, on m'a savoir qui ça qui a passé en l'idée yo. Mais ça a fait tellement la peine pour moi car ça qui est ces jeunes filles. Mais décision moi actuellement moi car ces jeunes mamans là supposé ouais avec tant avec comprendre ça qui arrivé yo avec ces jeunes bougs là. Les jeunes c'est dit la vie yo. Yo supposé catchiller avant yo prendre oui. Yo supposé faire l'idée et dire non. Témoin de oui ou content moi. Moi kay explain ça bay maman moi. A sous ça maman moi dit moi kay vie de ou, moi kay ba réponse. Pas répondre ces jeunes ti bay là oui. Because ces ti bay là actuellement, yo pas kay la messe. Marijuana yo ka fumer. Yo pas ni knowledge tête yo pas connaître blanc, yo pas connaître noir. Ça yo connaît c'est crime. So maman là moi ka 10 autres. C'est jeune ti fille because moi ni ti fille tout. Avec moi sans maman 7 maman. Avec ça ka touché moi les moi c'est maman là ka joindre route comme ça. So maman là moi ka 10 autres. Là ouais c'est jeune ti boy là ka vini. Maman il l'école là. Expect maman il l'école là. Maman là écoutez moi. Tend bien. Écoutez news là. Si autres pas ka écouter, fait maman autres écouter avec écoutez moi bien. Là ouais c'est jeune maman là ka vini pour autres. Dio.
I think the youth need to be occupied with more activities that could allow them to express themselves better and to show what talents they have. If they're occupied in positive things, then they wouldn't have time to go out and do these bad things that they've been doing right now.
Well, my solution to crime and the youth in St. Lucia would basically be for most of the young people right now to engage themselves in after-school activities. I think the government needs to concentrate on putting more after-school activities for them in terms of things like girls' guides and brownies. We need a lot more of these things. We don't hear any of these things anymore. And I think that parents should see that their children are well taken care of after school if they're at work or if they're occupied themselves. They need to make sure that their children are well off instead of having them running around on the streets and getting themselves into problems or troubles or illegal activities.
Well, I figure they should have more programs to enlighten the young children into jobs and different things. To me, they have too much idling sitting around the place, so they have too much time to think of crime. They should get a program to have them to be occupied. I feel that might solve the problem.
Well, the availability of more trades for the youths, like probably the fishing industry, different stuff like that. Yeah.
Maman il a, chebe kozot, maman il école jeune fille, especially jeune fille. C'est jeune fille zot pas safe en bas ces jeune boy là. Avec moi ka changer. Ti maman il a, yo tué ya et yo jeté kazaba en the garbage bag là. Tout ça ka fait moi ka chiller. I
think more emphasis should be placed on working with youth organizations such as the Scouts, the Girl Guides, and not lip service but real manpower and financing when it comes to developing these uniform organizations, because they made quite a difference in us adults through the years.
In a nutshell, basically, is the youth that turn into it is because of lack of self-esteem for number one, and a lot of youth don't have the confidence in themselves to do anything. So what they turn into is basically being around friends 24/7 most of the time. So it's like one pulling the other down the same route that one is going. So it's not really the ones who making the decision. It's just peer pressure everywhere.
Well, government need to put something in place for the youth where they can stay away from the crime.
So madame ka dizot. Chebe kozot. Mette kozot a donge. Laisse gentil boy la ka vini sweet talk zot. Di yo non. Koute maman zot. Ay na mes. Avec changer ça Madame Spice qu'a dit aujourd'hui. Pas oui gigi epi yo. Pas roule epi yo. Koute maman zot. Avec chembe cause that chembe straight and chembe wed. Because that's ça qu'a zot.
I feel the children of today, the mother and the father, you see the influence, you know, like when they go wrong and you go to the mother and tell the father that the mother or the father that like they doesn't like pull no string on the children, they hiding the children behind doors until the damage like get worse, and when it get worse, when they can't do nothing with it, is when like they all around the place saying that this is this and this is that and this is it. But I think that come from the home, and I think children of today, they don't have enough home training, so that's why they have to go astray.
Solution to crime, I believe we should employ more programs, put more programs in place, right? Implement more programs, some sort of recreation, you know, to the youth in the evening time, you know, and I believe that could keep them away from crime.
I believe we need to have the youths more involved in a lot of activities, you know. Right now, I think they're totally, you know, unoccupied and they don't have anything to do other than what they're doing, you understand? They're, in terms of their mind, you know, they have certain mindsets and they want everything, but, you know, some of them don't want to work for it, but, you know, we need to continue to strive to help them because that's what they need, the help.
Okay, well, let's first look at the cause. I think the cause of youth and crime is the multiplicity of reasons. One of the reasons I would like to look at is the access to overtly violent movies and play games. Those games, with that, what I've seen, the end result of the game, or of the game itself, always end in the death or the physical injury to a person. Now, if you start to inculcate in the minds of a child of that scenario early in his development, what do you think of? Also, you find the glorification, for want of a better word, of wars. The Iraq War, the Afghanistan War. You know, you just see it happen and people go home and they watch those things. Those things attract, okay? It's dangerous, but it attracts. So you see this go. The other aspect I want to look at is our society, the disregard for people's rights in terms of your opinion, you know, social injustice. And there's a lot going on. People don't know, okay? And there is the lack of the club system. There is no avenue for people to express themselves. In the days you had a Boy Scout, you had the Young Men Association or the Young Women Association. So you have ways to express. Now that avenue is stifled with the advent or the open up of what I just mentioned, the violent movies, the glorification of the war game. So what do you get? Violent. So how do we reverse that? I wonder how. And that's the question of them. How do we understand? Maybe if we have to close ourselves from the world, from society, from everybody else, it's a bit of, and I can't see it happen under a democratic system. So how do we do it? We got to find a way. But I think one of the ways is for us to trust in the Most High, be more loving, be more concerned about each other, and we may start to shift. But apart from that, if we don't do that, look at Christmas. What's so Christful or Christmas about Christmas? And we complain about the alcohol and the drugs and the war after Christmas, but during Christmas, we encourage it, we love it. You can't find a solution that way.
Well, there's no solution to crime, you know. You could probably prevent it or reduce on it. But these days when the youth leave school, with all the education and everything else, they just end up on the streets, nothing to do. So they can't get employed nowhere. So that's one of the problems. They end up in the ghetto, they end up in drugs. And then when you're in drugs, there's jealousy. When you try and do something as a youth too, people always try to fight you down, think that, you know, well, who is you to just come, and it's all wrong. So I don't know what you could really do about it, but the youth just need to just be independent, look for something to do, because there's a lot to do to keep themselves out of trouble.
Well, some very interesting perspectives from the streets. More solutions coming up after this break. Welcome back to Solutions on Choice TV. We're hearing from the people as they offer their solutions to common issues.
My solution, well, we first have to look at what's causing the crime amongst the youth. Now, one of the things that I personally see causing the crime amongst the youth is that a lot of the programming that was given to the elders, the children don't have it. And they're a lot more fiery, a lot more temperamental, a lot of the things that would keep them dumbed down, for lack of a better word. A lot of things that would keep the children dumbed down, they're not believing that, because the children are far more advanced than the parents were. So a lot of the gimmicks that was used by the old masters to keep the parents down is not working on the children. So some of them will try it. When they don't do it, it's, you know, and it's an environmental thing. It's an environmental thing. A lot of people don't want to believe that the environment plays a part in the crime. But the environment, change the environment. Move the child that's come into the crime out of that environment and see if the child does not produce different results, better results. There's known to be doing it, but crime is a big business. They go stop. Crime's a big business. Lawyers getting paid, judges getting paid. You keeping police employed. It's not going to stop. It's not in their best interest money-wise to stop crime. So children, the youths that are doing it, they're just pawns in a game. They're just pawns in a game. That's all it is.
Well, I think the parents should start taking their kids more seriously, and they should start, like the principal and the staff, the watchman in the school, should start searching most of the students to make the environment better with crimes among the youth children.
Well, some of the youths, they have pride in doing certain work.
I think the solution would be to step up the police activity. And there should be some kind of outreach to these young people who are committing the crime, whether they're through programs or education. Basically, that's it.
As you ask the question, as I search my own mind as a child growing up in St. Lucia, youth and crime, we never involved, but we involved in just childish things. But now, I would say straight up, as everybody knows me and who's not biased, would say, yes, I am right. The ministers, okay, our elders, our parents and them, youth and crime brought it up. They brought it up. But now that I see for themselves, that they self is fighting them to bring it down.
Solution, I don't know if there's actually a solution to it, but I think what we need to do as a collective is the entire country has to get involved. As long as we keep thinking it's them against us, you know, the haves against the have-nots, it's never going to get together. I mean, everybody has to realize that it's their problem. St. Lucia is 238 square miles. Everybody's a stone's throw away from everybody else. So we have to see it as a collective. We have to be our brother's keeper. And that's the only way I think we can actually solve it.
For me, you have to put God in your life, look to God and live for Him. Put your life in His hands and He will direct you so you'll not be involved in crime.
My solution to crime is, well, first of all, the government. The government got to do a lot of different things to get the youth involved in it. And if we could get that going, like a lot of different activities where the youth themselves can get involved and get off the streets and do something with themselves, then obviously crime will depreciate. That's what I think, personally.
All the youth that leave school, they are unoccupied in a job. What government expect them to do? Be prostitutes on the street? What they are doing within their education to recognize the system? Nothing. That's all.
Well, first of all, I think our youth have to be better educated about the laws in St. Lucia and the consequences you face after you've committed a crime. But my biggest fear is that the law itself does not deal with the cases fast enough to set an example for the children and the people committing crime, because a lot of people get away with stuff and there is no form or no format as to how we're going to catch them, what we're going to do, DNA, fingerprints, and so much more. So when crime is done in St. Lucia and our youth are just getting away with it, it's only going to escalate. So right about now, things have to be placed. Things have to be put in place so that to educate and to also set an example to those people causing problems for our 248 square mile beautiful St. Lucia.
Thank you very much for giving the opportunity to make some comments on the crime in youth. I think there's an increase in crime in the society, and I think it's a societal problem, and I think there should be more respect, and I think the religious beliefs should be strengthened. That is the belief in God, prayers. It should be one of the solutions towards our crime problem. We can't leave everything to the police. The police are trying 100% of everything, and the community also should be involved in helping to solve the crime problem.
On veut dire bagarre la mauvais, crime la mauvais. Mais changer personne passe à manger ça, à part de Jésus. Jésus qui est venu, c'est lui qui a mangé toute bagaille, my friend. Et puis nous pouvons dire plus, bah y en a l'autre. Maman et papa ni pour dire qu'on a l'autre et puis c'est là pour manger ces bagailles là.
Someone would about crime really moving. Let's say jeune maman qui a fait moi la peine. Ça pour nous faire tout pour aider ba ces maman là, parler ba yo. Et puis ça pour nous faire acheter travail ba yo et ben me va dans church. Tout attendre l'évangile. Et puis ça try about crime, forget about crime là. Et tu as notre job qui a été fait. So pas ni pièce avec pièce et puis ça am fait crime là.
Maman là ça a fait moi la peine. Et c'est ça money pour the choice. Avec ça a touché moi. Avec ça a brûlé because money trois filles. Avec n'a parler ba yo. Money on seul, money on qui a dans monde. Même le collectif ya. Money yon qui a maillé avec money yon. Money trois filles. Avec moi même maman moi. Avec moi content maman moi quand travail all so. Pour tu payer maman moi. Maman là moi ka des autres. Chembe word. Avec tout bout douette, avec tout bout solide, avec fair decisions. C'est ça money pour the choice en nom Jésus.
The people have spoken. The increase in violence among youth raises many questions. Who or what is to blame? Is it a breakdown in traditional family structure? Are the youth influenced by the media and invasive cultures it exposes them to? Whatever the answers are, we must find them and give our youth a more positive outlook. These were some of the answers, the solutions, presented by you, the people. If you have something to say, we want to hear. Look out for the Choice TV crew for a chance to present your solution to the country. Join us again next week for more solutions.
We live in a monkey country, but it's not everybody that's in the country that's a monkey.
Well, my solution is bring back the hat.
No, I just came home last week Monday and hence so much things happening. I work on a cruise ship. I just on vacation.
Not everyone that's in the prison that is guilty, but we have a university center criminal